Welcome to beautiful Tampa Bay. We are in St. Petersburg tonight for the second game of the three-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Ricky Romero goes to the mound against the Rays. He's gone 5-3 in 9 career starts against Tampa Bay. And Joe Madden, the manager for the Rays, understands what makes Ricky Romero so tough.
First of all, he's a guy that gets the opposite side out well. Like Morrow. Morrow gets lefties out better than he gets out righties. Romero gets out righties better than he gets out lefties. Although they still get the other side out. But, I mean, they're able to get the better hitter from the other side, which is unusual. They're little, almost reverse guys. That impresses me, and just his stuff. I mean, the guy's got great stuff, and he seems to be a great athlete. I would think that he is. He looks like he is. So there's a lot of positives that he's got going on.
Joe Madden knows he's up against a tough pitcher tonight, and Ricky Romero. Romero going for his 16th win, and boy, have we seen Ricky Romero grow over the course of this summer.
Yeah, you talk about, and Joe talks about the stuff that Ricky Romero has. You throw in his competitive fire, his willingness to listen, his willingness to learn, and his desire to be great, and you've got a complete pitcher. We've seen that from Romero this year, growing as a player. He's learning himself just a little bit more. And the one thing I like about him is when he gets himself into trouble right now, he can find his way out of it. That's something that we couldn't say about Romero when the season started.
Blue Jays beat Tampa Bay in the opener 5-1. They had just 6 hits, but they took advantage of some mistakes in the field. Mike McCoy, Eric Thames, Jose Bautista, top of the order. Kelly Johnson had a home run and drove in 2 in last night's game against David Price. He's batting cleanup tonight. Edwin Encarnacion, Colby Rasmus, David Cooper moves up into the 7th spot. Aaron Sevilla and Adam Lowen gets the call tonight as the DH.
This evening's starting pitcher is brought to you by Icy Hot Pain. Pain is no match for the Icy Hot Patch. Jeff Neiman makes his 23rd start of the season. He's looking for 3 straight wins. The Rays are desperate for a big start from Neiman. He has allowed 2 runs in each of his last 2 starts. His last one beating the Boston Red Sox 4-3, and that was last Saturday. He's made a couple of starts versus the Blue Jays this year. He's 1-1 with an ERA over 6. He's given up 6 runs, 11 hits versus the Jays. They've combined as a team to hit over 300 this year versus Jeff Neiman.
Defensively, Tampa Bay, one of the best defensive clubs in all of baseball, but they kicked it around a little bit last night. David Price was charged with 2 errors in the same inning. In the outfield, they've got a lot of speed. Jennings Upton and Matt Joyce. Sean Rodriguez, Ben Zobrist up the middle. Longoria, Casey Kochman at the corners. Jose Lobaton is the catcher, switch-hitting catcher, and he will call the pitches for Jeff Neiman.
No problems with Evan Longoria, the third baseman, when you talk about defense. One of the best in the business, I think, at the hot corner is Evan Longoria. Those couple of runs, or excuse me, there's a couple of errors last night by David Price led to 3 unearned runs against him. That hasn't been a problem for the Rays all season long. They are one of the better fielding teams in all of baseball.
Mike McCoy will start things off for the Jays. McCoy was 0 for 3. Excuse me, he was 1 for 2 in last night's game. Made a walk. Scored a couple of runs and stole a base. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Upstairs. Neiman is a big guy standing on the mound, and you want to create a downward angle. He got underneath that first pitch.
Got to make him get that ball down in the strike zone. For a big man, for the most part, he has pretty good control. He's only walked 35 batters all season long.
Two balls and a strike to the leadoff batter. Got the outside corner.
Mike McCoy's done a good job since John Farrell's put him in that leadoff spot about seeing a lot of pitches, working the count, getting on base. He's starting to steal a few more bases. He has had some excellent at-bats over the last 10 days or so.
Bounces this one foul. Jeff Neiman, 4-3 in 10 career starts against the Blue Jays. He's gone 16-8 against the AL East in his career. Pretty good number. Welcome those of you that have been watching the Red Sox and the Yankees. The Yankees beating the Red Sox 9-1, and Boston's problems in September continue. Mike McCoy drives this to right. Joyce going back and makes a fine running catch. Boy, that ball carried a lot better than Matt Joyce expected. They were playing shallow against Mike McCoy, and he almost drove it over Joyce's head.
Joyce got burned a couple of times in last night's game on balls that were in front of him. He was playing a little bit too deep. Tonight, a little bit more shallow, and he almost gets burned again, but he makes a good route and reaches up and just plucks it out of the air to take away a hit from Mike McCoy.
We saw McCoy drive a double over Nick Swisher's head at Rogers Center to drive home 2 runs. He's got a little more pop than teams anticipate. Eric Thames has got a lot of pop. Thames for the season now has 12 home runs. Been a good first year for the Blue Jays left fielder.
You can see the improvement offensively, defensively. Every day when you come to the ballpark and watch Eric Thames hit, play defense, his throwing's a little bit better, a little bit more accurate.
Neiman will cut the ball from time to time. That looked like he cut that fastball a little late movement just as it got into the hitting zone. 2 balls and a strike. You can see the catcher, Lobaton, wanted it down, and Neiman's having trouble getting that ball down so far.
We will watch tonight with Neiman if he is able to stretch out and extend through those pitches.
There's a ball upstairs again. Thames takes a 1-out walk. Let's take a look at the updated standings with the Red Sox losing in New York. Joe Maddon's team certainly keeping an eye on the scoreboard. Rays are now 2 back of the Red Sox in the AL wildcard race. The Angels lost 3-1 last night to Oakland. They are 3 back. Boston will play a doubleheader tomorrow in New York, a split doubleheader. We will have that second game in New York, Red Sox and Yankees, tomorrow on Sportsnet 1. 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. The last game between the Red Sox and the Yankees of the 2011 season. Neiman throws a first pitch strike to Jose Bautista. Bautista 0 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. Changeup misses downstairs. This is not unusual. We see it all the time with starting pitchers having a tough first inning, trying to get comfortable and get a feel for that strike zone.
It's been a week since Jeff Neiman's been on the mound. I mentioned that he went 5 innings against the Boston Red Sox his last time out. It was last Saturday in Fenway Park. Had one of his starts pushed back.
Or is that one in the dirt? Kochman saves him in air.
He can't even throw it over to first base on time. Not real accurate. Almost dumped that one in front of him.
There was some thought to Neiman starting on Thursday against the Yankees, but they went with 22-year-old Matt Moore, the left-hander, and that was a good call. Moore pitched 5 strong innings and led the Yankees to that, or led the Rays to that win over the Yankees.
Who was that? Sandy Jr. with that.
Outside. Boy, Neiman's really struggling right now. Jays really have to be patient against him.
He looks very stiff out on the mound, and doesn't look free and easy right now. The Rays need every game from here on out. They need to win every game. So if Joe Maddon doesn't like what he sees here early in this game from Jeff Neiman, he'll hook him.
Bautista, the big swing. It's 2-2. Joe Madden always very aggressive defensively. You can see 3 infielders on the third base side of the diamond. Always anticipating Bautista will pull the ball. Boy, he's got a big hole on the right side. Well, you're right. Neiman really looks tentative.
Yeah.
Whether it's physical or he's a little concerned about the situation, but like he's feeling for the strike zone right now.
Yeah, even his throws over to first base looks very ginger when he throws it over there.
Good eye by Bautista. No reason to chase borderline pitches. Neiman has been struggling to throw it over.
He's not going to get those borderline pitches. Surprised a little bit that they play the defense the way they are with 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. And they still want to stay away from it. That was a breaking ball down and away.
Full count, 1 out. Thames at first. He's running. Bautista pops it out of play.
Let's take a look at the scouting report for Jeff Neiman, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners back at work, and that you just touched on it. He's had some back problems, and they pushed this start back from 2 days ago. He's got a little extra on his fastball, 2 extra feet. Good fastball because of his size and length of his stride, and he's got that spiked curveball. It's superb. It's a downer. It goes straight down when he throws it for strikes. But his back was bothering him this week.
There goes Thames. Bautista drives it to left field. You can forget about this one. 2-0 Blue Jays. Jose Bautista, number 43.
When he's struggling for strikes, Jeff Neiman, you can sit on fastballs. He threw a couple of breaking balls to Bautista, but not even close to the strike zone. He challenges, or attempts to challenge him with a fastball here inside. See ya. We talked about Neiman trying to extend and get out in front. You can see he's very stiff out on the mound. His ball doesn't have a lot of action on it. He just can't extend, and this ball is right in the wheelhouse of Bautista.
Kelly Johnson had a homer last night. Takes the first pitch strike. Jose Bautista now a 2-homer lead over Curtis Granderson of the Yankees.
23 of them on the road, which is the best in the American League also.
There's a curveball strike. Boy, Bautista's homer. That's exactly what you want to do against a pitcher that's struggling in the first inning. Take advantage of it. And did he ever?
Kind of get the feeling he thought he should have had the one he fouled back. He had a good rip at that one.
Kelly Johnson hits it into center field, but Upton will get back and make the catch. 2 outs. For every home run Toronto hits in today's game, you could win amazing prizes from Sharp, including Canada's largest LCD TV, a 70-inch Sharp Aquos. Enter online at hitahomrunwithsharp.ca. Sharp makes bigger, better. And Bautista has done that on a regular basis. 43 home runs. Big question coming into this season was, could Jose Bautista back up that 54 homer season a year ago? I think he's answered all of the skeptics.
Capital letters, Y-E-S. Yes, he can do it. Exclamation point. He's a better player this year than he was last year.
And he certainly should get consideration for the American League MVP. When you look at all the categories where he ranks, he's hitting over 300. He's scored 100, driven in 100, walked 130 times. Breaking ball, trying to show him chases. 128 walks for Jose Bautista, and he's still been able to hit over 300. He's now driven in 103.
Only player in the big leagues who can say that. 40 homers, 100 runs scored, 100 RBIs, and 100 walks. The only one.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the first inning. Jeff Neiman has struggled.
He says his back's fine. Felt like he could have made the start if he needed to on Thursday, but they decided to back him up a couple of days to make sure. And where they are, the Tampa Bay Rays, if I'm Joe Maddon, I've got the quick hook tonight.
Yeah, you got to have a short leash for sure.
Mike McCoy sent the right fielder to the warning track to lead off the game. Johnson smoked that ball to center field. I mean, he really has gotten lucky on his 2 outs.
And now he's going to walk Encarnacion with 2 outs. Jim Hickey was standing right next to Joe Maddon. I think they're contemplating what their next move is, and it might be right here in the first, just trying to get somebody up.
You've got Andy Sonnenstein, who's the long man out of the bullpen for Tampa. We'll keep an eye on him. I think they're going right to the phone.
They can't wait and hope that Neiman gets straightened out in the 3rd or 4th. He didn't look close.
No. Just doesn't have the finish on the pitches. It's not like he can extend towards home plate.
Colby Rasmus takes a pitch outside.
You were talking about Neiman at 6'9", creating that downward plane, but right now he just can't drop and drive towards home plate to create that great downward plane. I don't know if it's his back. It certainly looks like it the way he's throwing.
And there's not a whole lot of drive in his delivery. Might suggest that there is something barking at him, or he can't really stride through that pitching motion. He's thrown 30 pitches already in the first inning. Rasmus, fair ball down the right side. Encarnacion is around second. He's headed for third. Rasmus headed for second. Encarnacion will stop at third. The ball gets away, but Encarnacion will have to hold at third. Right now, Jeff Neiman's not fooling anybody.
You fall behind, you don't have that extra giddy up on your pitches, and you have to throw a fastball. But good big league hitters are going to turn it around, and that's exactly what Rasmus does. High fastball, and he rips it by Kochman, the first baseman. You can see he's holding him on the line. He can still hit it by him. Hits that little part of the outfield there. If that gets back into that corner, Encarnacion can score from first base.
Well, right now, they're going to buy some time for the bullpen. Dane De La Rosa is a big right-hander. Left-hander is Alex Torres, and they are heating up in a hurry. Evan Longoria sensed that they needed to buy some time. He broke from third base just as Jim Hickey was coming out of the dugout. Big opportunity right here for the Blue Jays to really put Tampa Bay in a hole. David Cooper will bat. You can see 14 runs allowed in the first inning. Second and third, 2 outs. Neiman will work out of the windup. Here where Cooper really has a chance to keyhole.
Yeah.
Just sit on a fastball and try to do some big damage right here.
Be patient. Don't help him out.
Exactly what you were talking about. It was a breaking ball. Neiman threw when he was behind in the count, and Cooper did help him out.
If you go up and ask a hitter, hey, 1-0, what are you looking for? They're probably going to say fastball. If you throw a breaking ball, go ahead and let it go. Take it.
Catches the outside corner. Looked like that split finger pitch that he throws. 1-2, 2 outs.
You know, another factor that Joe Maddon has to think about is who's pitching for Toronto tonight. And it's Romero. He's been hot. He is the ace. You don't want to find yourself too far behind.
Tampa Bay has trouble scoring runs. 2-2 pitch. Cooper fouls it off and stays alive. That's a great point. We heard from Joe Madden talking about Ricky Romero, how much he respects Romero for being a great athlete, a great competitor. Romero's gone 7-1 in his last 8 decisions. Brandon Morrow was great last night. Now the Rays have to deal with the tough Ricky Romero. Full count. Boy, there's not much coming out right now.
That was 91 miles an hour. He can throw it 94, 95. But it's the location.
Thank you.
At times, some of those pitches, they're not even close.
3-2, 2 outs. Breaking ball bounced up the middle. Rodriguez near the bag at second. And Neiman will get out of it. 38 pitches in the first inning for Jeff Neiman, and this one cost him a 2-run shot by Jose Bautista, number 43. It's Zobrist, the switch hitter. He moves in the cleanup spot tonight. Johnny Damon drops down a notch into the 5-hole. John Rodriguez, Casey Kotzman, the right fielders Matt Joyce, and the catcher is switch hitting Jose Lobato.
Ricky Romero will face that lineup as he takes the mound for his final start of 2011, looking for his career-high 16th win on the season. Romero has won 3 straight starts versus Tampa this year, including his only start here at the Trop when he allowed only 1 hit over 8 innings and beat the Rays 3-1. 8-1 with 250 earned run average over his last 11 starts. Romero himself says, "I feel strong as I did on opening day."
Blue Jays have had to shuffle around on defense a bit. In the outfit is Thames, Rasmussen, Bautista. Mike McCoy, Kelly Johnson up the middle, and Carnacion has taken over at third base with the injury to Brett Lawrie. David Cooper starts at first base. Adam Lind is not with the team currently. J.P. Arencibia and Ricky Romero make the battery tonight. And Carnacion playing at third, as we mentioned, left side of the Blue Jays infield. Yunel Escobar, Brett Lawrie on the DL. Ricky Romero misses with the first pitch to Desmond Jennings. Jennings went 0 for 3 in last night's game. Tampa Bay had just 3 hits in that ball game. Romero falls behind 2-0. Boy, this is a big inning for the Rays, just to get right back in the ball game early. Don't let Ricky Romero get back into a groove.
You can see Desmond Jennings is thinking along that same line. Let me take a strike here and really work Romero over as much as I can. If they have a quick inning, 1, 2, 3.
Line to the shortstop. Jennings is retired.
That momentum can stay over in that third base dugout. Scouting report for Ricky Romero. Hey, the Jays have an ace. His stats match up with the best, I think, in the divisions. The Lesters, the Prices, the Sabathia. He's as good as all of them. The game is slowing down for him. He's in no hurry. He doesn't get rattled in any of these types of games, and he's getting off-speed outs, which is important. Get ahead early with the fastball, get the outs with some off-speed pitches, and he's been doing that very effectively his last few starts.
B.J. Epton takes a ball up and away with that fastball laid off that high pitch. Upton was ejected in the game last night in the 8th inning when he was called out at second trying to steal.
That was an interesting play. He was talking in the paper today that he wanted to try and create something and get himself into scoring position, but he was down by 5 runs. And he just could not get thrown out in that situation, not with Evan Longoria at the plate.
No. It was a bad choice. He was thrown out, and then in frustration, he got himself thrown out of the game.
He hesitated a couple of times also on the steal attempt where he looked in, slowed down just a little bit, looked back, and then it was still a bang-bang play at second base.
Evan Longoria on deck. Longoria was 0 for 3. He was hit by a pitch in the ribs from Brandon Morrow. Skied over near the Rays dugout. David Cooper got overmatched as he ran too far, and that ball cut back toward the field. It's a tough place to take pop-ups, and Cooper, of course, hasn't played many games in this ballpark.
Remember, the ball goes up and it doesn't come straight down. Coaches talk to players about staying behind the baseball. It goes up, and with the spin that's on, it's going to come back towards the field. David Cooper gets a little bit too aggressive there. It's over his head, and he'll be charged with his 4th error.
Little looper into shallow right field. That's going to drop in front of Bautista. A.J. Upton takes advantage of that air and fights one off and flares it into right.
Get an extra swing to a big leaguer. You got to throw him a fastball. Upton, his jam breaks his bat, but still muscles it into right field for a hit.
So Upton's aboard for the dangerous Evan Longoria. You mentioned Longoria 0 for 3 in last night's game. Romero gets ahead. That's going to be a key for Ricky Romero. Pitch ahead. Get these Rays hitters in a swing mindset.
Yeah, he's done it his last 2 starts. Both of those wins against the Boston Red Sox, where he finally took care of Boston. He was beating everybody else in the American League, everybody else in the division, and it was the Red Sox. He just couldn't get them. But he beat them his last 2 times out, and I think that's got to give him a lot of confidence.
You can see he's pitched well against the Rays in his 4 previous starts, going 3-1. One thing that Ricky Romero can do is he can get that ball on the ground. He's great at pounding the bottom of the strike zone and gets a lot of double plays. There goes up, and he got a great jump. Aaron Sevia's throw is on the money, but late. Number 32 for B.J. Upton.
He's thrown out 11 times. He just right with Romero. He goes on his first movement. And really no chance for Aaron Sevia. It's a good throw, but he just outruns the baseball.
Pulled foul. This is an area where Tampa Bay has really struggled this season, batting with runners in scoring position. They are 13th in the league with a .227 batting average with runners in scoring position. They just haven't been able to deliver.
If you don't hit a lot of home runs, and they lost a lot of home runs through free agency, players leaving here, people like Carl Crawford, Carlos Pena. If you don't hit a lot of home runs, you've got to deliver in clutch situations.
Two and two, 1 out. Longoria chases that good breaking ball, and he strikes out. We mentioned Tampa Bay has won just 4 of their last 11 ball games. They have really not done very much with the bats, and they have way too many strikeouts and way too many double plays.
They certainly can pitch it and field it. Right now, they just haven't been able to hit to keep up with that good pitching and defense. The strikeouts also a big part of what they strike out a lot.
Ben Zobrist, the switch hitter, batting right-handed against Romero. Goes after the first pitch. First pitch changeup, but he was out in front. Zobrist has hit well against Romero. He's 7 for 22. But again, the only team in the American League that has a lower batting average with runners in scoring position, the Seattle Mariners. 225. The Jays are 12th. They've only hit 240 as a team. Bounce towards short. McCoy circles around, throws it into the past Mike McCoy. Upton will come in to score. Mike McCoy's got a strong arm, but threw a low throw over to first, and David Cooper couldn't scoop it.
Couple of errors here in the first inning is going to cost Ricky Romero a run. It'll be an error on Mike McCoy, his fourth. Oh, right between the dirt and the turf. Not real sure where it hit, but it skipped right past Cooper, and Upton scores and cuts the lead in half.
The Jays have given the Rays a run. Johnny Damon.
What were we talking about today before the game about good defense and saving pitches for your pitcher every inning?
B.J. Upton singled after Cooper couldn't make a play on the foul pop. This ball is popped into shallow center. Kelly Johnson back, camps under it, and it falls. Johnson and Colby Erasmus got their signals crossed. They both relaxed, anticipating the other was going to make the catch, and it falls untouched. Ugly inning here in the first.
Wow. Momentum clearly on the Blue Jays side. You got your ace. You scored 2 runs in the top of the inning, and then you give it right back because of defense. It looked like Johnson was calling for it, but then Rasmus looked like, I don't even know if he called it. Let's see. No, he didn't say anything.
Kelly Johnson thought he heard somebody call him off. But again, miscommunication costly here in the first. And now the ball gets away from Aaron Sevilla. Damon moves to third. Damon was credited with a top double and an RBI. And now the wild pitch gets away from Aaron Sevilla.
This could have been an 8-pitch inning for Ricky Romero, and he'd be in the dugout right now, and the Blue Jays would be hitting, and Joe Madden would be thinking about who he's going to send out for the second inning. But now we're all tied. Runner at third base. They haven't hit the ball hard yet.
Well, I tell you what, Tampa Bay's got to feel like they have been given a gift here. Neiman really struggled in the first inning. He doesn't look healthy to me. Now they've kicked it around, allowed the Rays to tie it up. It's 2-2. Sean Rodriguez takes the first pitch strike. This is where Romero can really shut the door. You see Alex Torres continues to throw. It looks like he's coming into the game. Rodriguez just 1 for 12 against Romero. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Aaron Sevilla. Boy, you hit right on it when you talked about how many pitches those errors have cost Ricky Romero here in the first inning. Pop up that fell. A throwing error by the shortstop McCoy, and then a pop up that fell between Kelly Johnson and Colby Erasmus.
Should have been a 1-2-3 inning. It didn't look like Colby Erasmus called for it. Kelly Johnson went out there, and I think that's where he should take control right there, because he's coming in. He's got a better look at it than the infielders who are going back.
Oh, absolutely. It's always the outfielders priority to come and get those pop-ups. Rodriguez fouls it back.
So now Ricky Romero is sitting on 24 pitches here in the first inning, when it should have been about 7 or 8.
Johnny Damon at third. Rodriguez hits it into center. Rasmus backing up. And the inning is over. But a rough inning for the Blue Jays as Tampa Bay has tied it. A couple of errors costly in the first. Committed a couple of errors. Romero in the dugout trying to encourage his teammates. It's a 2-2 ball game. Colby Rasmus gets a visit from the outfield coach. That ball fell between Rasmus and Kelly Johnson, and it looked like neither one of them called for it, and that was the problem. And the Rays get a fresh pitcher into the game, 23-year-old Alex Torres.
Torres back into the game. Just 3 games this year for Torres. Made 27 starts at Durham, with 9-7 with a very good earned run average of 3. 156 strikeouts, 83 base on balls. Recalled from Durham on Wednesday. This is his second stint in the big leagues.
So back to square one for the Blue Jays. Jose Bautista hit a 2-run home run in the first, but it's tied at 2. Aaron Sebia, Lowen, and then Mike McCoy, top of the order. There's his strike. 1-2. Torres was acquired by the Rays in a deal that sent Scott Kazmir to Anaheim. Sean Rodriguez, Matt Sweeney, and Alex Torres came 3 players for 1.
Boy, that worked out nicely, didn't it, for the Rays, that trade? I remember when that trade went down, and we're like, what are they getting rid of Scott Kazmir for? He's their best pitcher. But they knew something. And Joe Madden knew the Angels system at the time.
Aaron Sebia hits it into center, but E.J. Upton runs underneath. One out here in the second.
Jeff Neiman's line for the night. He is finished after just 1 inning. It'll be his shortest outing of the season. He just didn't look right. 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, no strikeouts, 38 pitches to get through the first inning, and Jeff Neiman just didn't look healthy on the mound tonight.
Back in May, Neiman left the start on May 4th with back problems. He went 4 innings in that game. He was down 3-0. Adam Lind did a 2-run home run in the first inning, and Neiman looked a lot like he looked tonight.
Unstable on the mound, a little stiff. Not able to reach out, not able to stay on top, not able to finish pitches tonight. And I think Joe Madden understands where he is. He's got to get a healthy body out there.
Adam Lowen is the DH tonight. Thought he was going to step in the box and face a right-hander in Neiman. Now he's dealing with Alex Torres. Big numbers at AAA Las Vegas for Lowen. Breaking ball for us. Blue Jays are down a few players. Ernell Escobar, Brett Lawrie on the DL. Adam Lind in Toronto with his family. Off the plate outside. Looks like Tampa Bay's dugout has given Ed Rapuano a tough time behind the plate. That ball wasn't close.
Yeah, certainly wasn't. Off the dish, clearly.
Rowan is called out. Fastball on the outside corner.
Torres just 5'10", but he packs a nice fastball. That time he'll get Adam Lowen on a pitch coming back. Again, 156 strikeouts in 146 innings in AAA this year for Torres.
Torres is from the same hometown as Henderson Alvarez, Valencia, Venezuela. Another pretty good pitcher from that same town named Felix Hernandez.
Time to send a scout to Valencia, Venezuela, see if there's any more.
Just buy him a house down there and keep him down there. Back to the top of the order with 2 outs. Mike McCoy, the shortstop. It's this one into center field, but up there, almost in his tracks, makes the catch. Torres with a good start for his outing. A 1-2-3 second inning. We are tied at 2, middle of the second. Their season up strong, but Ricky Romero has taken it to a new level. Since the All-Star break, he's been as good as anybody in baseball and consistent.
And winning games at 8-2, that's the 4th best in the American League. It's the opponent's batting average of just 191 that jumps out at you. A lot of ground ball outs, earned run average, everything. He has become a complete pitcher.
Casey Kochman goes after the first pitch. Eric Thames makes the catch, 1 out. Ricky Romero certainly has gotten better as the season has gone on. And when you start to look around baseball, among left-handed starters in baseball, Romero has the 3rd best opponent's batting average among left-handed starters. League's hitting just .216 against him. Only Clayton Kershaw and Cole Hamels have a better opponent's batting average.
2 National Leaguers. They don't have to face the designated hitter like Romero does. They don't have to face those lineups like you see night in and night out in the American League, the East. They get to face the pitcher.
Matt Joyce, the right fielder. Ball in the strike. Romero is dominant. He has grown. He's got control of his emotions, channels them in the right direction. And he has gotten to the point in his career, if something's not working for him early, he doesn't panic. He just turns the page and goes to the next pitch and keeps working at it until that other pitch comes around. Rapuano said that Joyce went too far. It's 2-2.
That's true about Romero. I mean, he's got so many different pitches early in his career. If his curveball wasn't working, it seemed like he'd just hammer it in there until it did. Good pitch there.
Boy, that's that great curveball. And that's the pitch that Romero has used in the second half very effectively. You can see Matt Joyce couldn't even swing at it.
Locks him up, starts it right at him, freezes him. It's got sharp break to it. It's got good depth to it. And his last time out against the Boston Red Sox, he used that breaking ball. Look at the strikeouts now for Romero piling up.
One thing you like about Ricky Romero, he has improved in every aspect of his game. Jose Lobaton, a switch hitting catcher, taps it right back toward Romero. Oh, what a good inning. Ricky Romero encouraged his teammates to pick it up. He did it himself. 8 pitches gets Romero through the second. He hit under 100, had just 3 hits. So OPS was 401. But boy, in his last 11 games, he's made some dramatic adjustments.
He's learning. And I sat down with him today and I asked him about some of the things that he has learned this year and about himself and about the league. He said the pitchers, they will nibble. They will come and hit the corner, then they'll try a little bit further out, like his at bat the other day against Scott Downs. He said he threw me a sinker on the inside part of the plate for a strike, then he went right back in there just a little bit more, and they nibbled on the corner and they nibbled over here. They have a plan, they hit their spots, and they have the ability to set you up. Those are the kind of things that he has learned here in the big leagues.
Finishing up strong with that good 5-game hit streak. Fights this one off and lines it to left. Desmond Jennings is there. Thames is retired on 1 pitch. Jose Bautista went deep in his first at bat, a 2-run home run. This is the major league leaderboard for home runs. Bautista with 43, 2 ahead of the Yankees' Curtis Granderson. Matt Kemp having an MVP type of season for the Dodgers. Pujols, Teixeira, Kemp all with 37.
You know what's impressive about Matt Kemp's 37 home runs? He does it at Dodger Stadium.
Big yard.
Big yard. Yeah. All done carry. I guess it does when he's hitting.
97 home runs for Bautista the last 2 seasons. And he spent about 3 weeks in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform.
Do-over.
Don Zimmer, the great baseball icon, was down around the cage. He's an advisor to Tampa Bay. He said, Bautista's a pretty good player, isn't he? I said, yeah. He said, is he a good guy? I said, he's a great guy. He said, would you introduce me to him? I said, you're not met him? He goes, no. And Jose was kind enough to come over. I said, Jose, Mr. Zimmer would like to meet you. And Jose said, I was with you guys for a while. You just don't remember me. No, they had Bautista for about 3 weeks, and that's it. He moved around 5 different teams that year, but Don Zimmer, very respectful of Jose Bautista as a player and now a person. On the ground. Longoria can't get it. Casey Kotchman came off the bag. Kosman knew it was going to be close, and Rodriguez's throw was on line, but Kotchman, in an effort to buy the out, came off the bag.
Got caught cheating just a little bit. Sean Rodriguez with a very strong and accurate arm across the diamond. Kotchman just pulls it, and he knows it too. That's one of the tricks that a veteran first baseman will do. As you see, Jose Bautista is going to have none of that. As he pointed right away to Ed Hickox and said he pulled his foot. And Ed Hickox says, yes, he did.
Good call by the umpire and a nice try by Casey Kotchman. Kelly Johnson. Johnson flied to center field his first time up. Johnson hitting in the cleanup spot tonight. Originally with Neiman starting. Looked like a good matchup. Now he's going to have to battle a left-hander, but that wasn't a problem for him last night. He had 2 hits against David Price. There goes Bautista. It's pulled into home perfectly. Bautista will go around second. He's headed for third. Blue Jays pull off the hit and run perfectly, and Kelly Johnson pulled the breaking ball to second base. Zobrist went to cover the bag. They thought Johnson would hit it to the third base side of the infield.
And he crosses him up. Usually a curveball, you're going to pull that, and the shortstop would take over covering second base duties. It's away from him. He's able to get the head out and pull it into that right side, and that's easy first to third for Jose Bautista.
Edwin Encarnacion walked his first time up. Makes the first pitch strike. Bautista cleared Johnson at first. Encarnacion's had a lot of RBI opportunities lately.
And when he doesn't have RBI opportunities, he takes it upon himself to drive himself in, like he did the other night on that walk-off home run. 17 home runs now for Edwin Encarnacion.
He's hit 2 in the month of September. Got a good look at that fastball. It was off the plate inside. First time Blue Jays are getting a look at Alex Torres.
Torres looks like he can turn over his fastball a little bit, Buck, so you got to stay on that one.
There goes the runner. Johnson to throw to second. In time with the tag. Mark Wagner saw Zobrist put the tag on the back of Kelly Johnson. Lobaton threw him out.
Good pitch to throw on a fastball. Lobaton is quick and guns down Kelly Johnson. Zobrist comes in front of the bag. That's a good play right there. Just in case the Blue Jays were going to try a double steal. And now with 2 outs, they're not even going to give Encarnacion a chance to swing the bat.
Joe Maddon's not going to leave anything to chance tonight. He had a very short leash on Jeff Neiman. Neiman threw 38 pitches in the first, and even when they Rays tied it up, he said, you know what? I don't like what I see, and we can't afford to hope that Neiman gets it figured out.
Yeah, and you don't have time to let him go out there and try and figure it out. You got to make that decision right away.
Howie Rasmus had a double against Neiman in the first inning. Breaking ball way up out of the zone. They're in the third inning, 2-2 game, and Torres just didn't ever get on top of that breaking ball. Now that fastball up. For the season combined between St. Louis and Toronto, Rasmus has hit .226 against lefties. Since he's come to Toronto, just .167. He is 7 for 42 against lefties. Fights this one off. Slow grounder to Zobers at second. Rasmus is retired. The Blue Jays leave a couple of base runners. Alex Torres gave up a couple of hits, but strands him. Brand new magazine, and it'll come out September 29th. It features stunning photography and in-depth analysis from Canada's top sports journalists, including Shai Davidi, Michael Grange, and Mark Spector. Be the first to get it. Subscribe today at sportsnet.ca/magazine. Shai Davidi is working hard on his articles, his contributions to that first edition, and it'll be out within a week. Top of the order facing Ricky Romero here. Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Evan Longoria. Jennings getting hit by that pitch, down and in. He'll take first base.
13th batter this year that Ricky Romero has hit. And he was talking, as you see that ball, about improvements, things that he can do to improve. First thing he said, I got to cut down my walks. I got to have a little bit better control. We've seen that in the second half. And I think his command when it comes to wild pitches and hit batter, that's his 13th. He's also had 9 wild pitches this year.
Jennings is a threat to run. B.J. Upton at the plate. Makes a changeup upstairs. Wild pitches are always going to be a problem for Ricky Romero because his stuff's so good. He's got a wicked changeup that will oftentimes end up in the dirt. The catchers don't really know which way it's going to go. Also, that curveball that bites so hard will get away from time to time. But the walks, yeah, that's something he can control. Just continue to improve your command and make sure you work on command. He's walked 78 coming into this game.
Much better in the second half when it comes to control. And a lot of the times in the first half, he was fighting himself. Right now, I think he can throw pitches for strikes anytime he wants to.
Well, one thing I like about Ricky Romero is his ability to adjust on the fly. He can make changes in the course of a game if he needs to get the ball back in the strike zone. Once again, that ability to throw a ground ball and get a double play, really an asset for Romero. Pop up behind home. Arancibia over near the Rays dugout, hangs with it, makes the catch. Cooper was right there with him and banged into him. But Arancibia did a good job of staying with it, keeping his eye on the ball.
And knowing exactly where he was on the field. How close he was to that camera well. Never takes his eye off of it. Even though he gets some leather right in his face from his first baseman.
David Cooper wasn't going to let B.J. Upton reach and have a foul pop-up drop for a second time. Cooper was charged with an error in Upton's first at bat. Sure enough, B.J. Upton on the next pitch got a single to right. Evan Longoria struck out on a breaking ball from Romero his first time up. There's a ground ball. McCoy quickly to second for one. What a turn by Kelly Johnson. Desmond Jennings was all over Kelly Johnson, but boy, he hung in there and threw a seed to first. Another double play for Ricky Romero. I mean, he's got that good sinking fastball and a great changeup, and nobody does it better than Ricky Romero.
Certainly don't. His last start against the Boston Red Sox, he had a very good ground ball ratio. He had a good sinker, and here's another one. Longoria, this is tailor-made off the end of the bat. What a turn at second base by Johnson as he stayed in there against the ex-football player Desmond Jennings, who tried to roll block him.
Well, he really hung in there and made a strong throw. Jennings can really run, and he's a big man, and he got down there in a hurry. But Johnson didn't shy away, hung in there, and he's got a lot of arm. Big double play. David Cooper makes the first pitch strike from Alex Torres. Torres in his third inning of work. Came into the ball game in the second inning after Jeff Neiman struggled. It was a liner that handcuffed Longoria, but he made the catch. Hey fans, every time Toronto hits a home run in the fourth inning, someone will win a 40-inch Aqua Squatron TV and Blu-ray player. To enter, visit HitAHomeRunWithSharp.ca. Sharp Aquas makes bigger, better. JP Arancibia, he can go deep. JP's hit 23 home runs in his rookie season. He's had a big year. Got a lot of family and friends here in St. Petersburg over from the east coast of Florida. They saw him hit a home run here the last time he was here, and now he hits one just fair inside the left field line. Aaron Sebia with a big turnaround first. He's headed for second. The throw is in plenty of time. Desmond Jennings got to that ball quickly. He's got great speed, and Aaron Sebia, he didn't have much of a chance to get to second.
No. When you come around first base, you got to look up, see where that outfielder is, if he's got the ball, and then you can read the throw. You can actually read the throw from the left fielder, and if it's on line, you can go ahead and put the brakes on and go back. This one is right on line, and he knows it too. Ben Zobrist is waiting for him when he gets to second base with the ball. Watch this throw on the fly and on line for the out.
Now you can think about two, and then when you look up, watch where the ball is and stop halfway. But Aaron Sebia's out. That's 2 outs in the inning. That was a great shot. Brett Lowry, Aaron Sebia's roommate, saying, "Hey man, you don't run like me."
Remember, you're a catcher.
Just what you need, your best friend reminding you. He walked over there and looked at him like, "What were you thinking about?"
I got to look in the stats now. I wonder if he's like sitting on so many doubles. You know, he's got like 29. He's looking for 30.
No, he's got 20.
He's got 20?
Yeah. He should have stayed on 20. He's still on 20. Give him maybe a half. 2 and 2, 2 outs. Adam Lowen, the DH tonight. He strikes out. Torres looks sharp. 23-year-old off to a good start. J.P. Arancibia got a base hit, but he was thrown out at second. In Tampa Bay, beautiful area, great part of the world, and the Blue Jays will wrap up their season in the state of Florida tomorrow afternoon. Third and final game of this 3-game series. Blue Jays are trying to snap an ugly streak they have here in St. Petersburg. They've lost 13 consecutive series to the Rays. Ben Zobrist 0 for 4 last night. He reached on an error by Mike McCoy and scored in the first. Zobrist came from the Houston Astros in a trade that sent Aubrey Huff to Houston. There's a drive toward left field. Eric Thames looking up. Home run, Ben Zobrist. Number 18 for Zobrist, and the Rays have taken a 3-2 lead.
That's number 18 on the season for Ben Zobrist. He had a career high 2 years ago of 27. Back problems last year limited him to 10 home runs. He's back healthy now as he puts this one in the second row in left field against Romero.
Johnny Damon. Damon had a bloop double in that ugly first inning. Blue Jays gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and committed 2 errors, and Johnny Damon's was a pop-up that fell between the center fielder and the second baseman. They were both standing there expecting the other to make the catch.
I got it. You take it. Another double for Johnny Damon.
Johnny Damon with that hit now is only 3 hits shy of tying Lou Gehrig for 57th on the all-time hit list. And he takes a walk. Home run and a base on balls here in the 4th. Well, Johnny Damon, much like Bobby Abreu, who we just saw with the Angels, has had a terrific career. On the active leaderboard, Damon is 3rd in runs, 5th in hits, 6th in doubles, 2nd in triples, and 4th in steals. A tremendous player and a great career.
How about that? 516 doubles for his career. Incredible. 2,700 hits, and he keeps himself in such great shape. I think he's going to get his 3,000 hits. And now, any player who gets 3,000 hits and does the things that Johnny Damon has, you got to think that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday.
2,718 hits for Johnny Damon. And he's a guy that can just continue to play. Keeps himself in great shape. Loves to play and plays every day. John Rodriguez hits it to short. McCoy across the diamond in time to get Rodriguez. That's the only play he had, and he made a good one.
Made it look easy, but that is a tough play for a shortstop. His momentum is taking him away from first base. He has to backhand it and then in one movement throw across the diamond and then throw it accurately. That ball's going to tail on you a little bit, so you start it on the inner part of the infield, let it come back. It does. It works like a sacrifice bunt for Rodriguez as Damon moves in the scoring position.
Casey Kochman line to left his first time up. Damon will get a walking lead if you don't keep an eye on him. He'll steal 3rd.
Middle infield is back, and they're not even taking a look at him. Now here comes Mike McCoy as he starts to inch a little bit closer. Playing right behind Damon at second.
Kochman fouls it on. Mike McCoy, what a job he has done at shortstop. Longtime San Diego Padre announcer Jerry Coleman, former player with the Yankees, always had a phrase to acknowledge a great play. He'd say, put a star on that. And you and I have both been putting stars on Mike McCoy's defensive plays
regularly the last week or so. Every night there's 1 or 2.
That's a pretty good curveball. I think Aaron Sevilla and Romero thought that was a strike. But Mike McCoy filling in for Yunel Escobar. It looks like Escobar is not going to play again the rest of the season. He hasn't taken batting practice yet. He got hit by a pitch on the back of his left elbow and hasn't been able to get back to baseball.
tomorrow is the big day. If he could come out here and take batting practice, John Farrell was saying that there might be a chance that they could activate him in Chicago. He doesn't come off the DL until that first day in Chicago, but if he can come out, take some batting practice tomorrow and not have any soreness in that elbow, there's a chance.
Watchman goes after that high breaking ball. Looked like he got a piece of air in Sebia. JP Arancibia playing in September. A long season for a catcher. Boy, that hit him right on that right shin guard. Right where that padding breaks.
When do you start feeling normal again after a long season like this?
Christmas.
Literally.
By the time you get over the bumps and bruises and allow your body to recover. But it's not unusual. You get players in their first big league season. In the minor leagues, they play 5 months. You got an extra month of wear and tear, plus the extended spring training period. Longer spring training camp in the big leagues. Hodgman fouls off another pitch. And then you factor in the wear and tear mentally. I mean, he puts in a lot of time behind the plate. Thinking about pitches, talking to pitchers, going over scouting reports, sitting down with the pitching coaches.
Minor leagues, at times when you're tired, you can get by with your physical ability. You can just go out there and play the game. You can't do that here in the big leagues. You have got to concentrate on every single pitch, every single day. You get worn down mentally.
Hodgman strikes out for Romero. That's 3 strikeouts now. Well, there's that changeup, and it's a good one.
Yeah, look at the movement. That's the tumbling action that he can put on that changeup. It's almost like a split finger fastball. That's what it looks like if you're trying to hit it. It tumbles towards home plate. Tough to get on top of it.
Matt Joyce caught looking at a curveball his first time up. Struck out in the second. Tampa Bay has taken a 3-2 lead, a leadoff home run off the bat of Ben Zobrist. Has put the Rays ahead. Looks like Romero got a piece of that with his glove. McCoy in time to get Joyce. He didn't think so. And now Ed Hickok is making a point of acknowledging the fact that Joyce threw his equipment. So what a play by McCoy. Joyce didn't think he was out at first. But again, another star on a play. Romero got a piece of it with his glove.
And then McCoy did the rest. Bare hands it and fires it across the infield. The whole Ray bench thinks that he beat it out. Joe Maddon's going to argue this one.
Tampa Bay has taken a 3-2 lead. bats alive, and there's some frustration mounting. Take a look at this shot by Matt Joyce.
And Matt Joyce thinks he beats it out. At first base call safe, throws the helmet down. Let's take a look here on the super slow-mo. And it looks like he got to the base just before the ball hit the glove of Cooper.
He threw the helmet. Ed Hickox, the umpire, just pointed at the helmet just to make note that he'll file a report that Joyce threw his helmet. He didn't throw him out of the game, which a lot of times you'll see players thrown out for that. I applaud Ed Hickox for not doing that. Didn't deserve to be thrown out of the game. It's a bang bang play. He thought he beat it, and his frustration, he just grabbed his helmet and kind of reacted, throwing the helmet to the ground.
And good for the umpire to realize the heat of the moment.
Yeah. Mike McCoy, well, what a play. Got lost in that controversial call at first, but he stayed right with it and threw out Joyce at first. Another start on Mike McCoy's name.
Give half of that start to Ricky Romero with his reactions to get up and slow it down with his glove.
Full count. McCoy really understands the role of the leadoff hitter. He takes a lot of pitches, works the count, trying to get on base.
Yeah, especially when you're behind now in the 5th inning after that home run by Zobrist. Make Torres throw pitches, make him throw strikes.
He got a good pitch to hit there, but pulled it into the Blue Jays bullpen. Brandon Gomes, right-hander, appears to be standing by ready if needed. Alex Torres working in his 4th inning of relief. Strike 3 call. Looked like he threw him a changeup and caught the outside corner.
With good running action, too, that he will use against those right-handed batters. Watch it come off of his fingers. That's the changeup right there, and watch the movement down and away. It's almost like a screwball where he gets on top of it and pushes it away from the right-hander.
Eric Thames lined out to left his last time up. He also reached in the first with a walk. Ball on the strike. We're in the 5th inning here in St. Petersburg. Blue Jays trail Tampa Bay 3-2.
Alex Torres so far has certainly given Joe Madden what he needed out of the bullpen. Innings, shutout innings.
He's been a starter in his minor league career, and he's got the ability to give you some innings. He pulls it wide of first, foul. Tampa Bay can't afford to lose many more. They're running out of time. After this game tonight, they'll have just 4 games left. Boston plays a doubleheader tomorrow, a split doubleheader against the Yankees in the Bronx.
Yankees laid it on them this afternoon, too, didn't they?
Or they did. 9-1 Yankees, and they jumped all over John Lester. John Lester has not been good. Lester went 2 2/3 this afternoon, gave up 8 hits and 8 earned runs. Good eye by Thames. He lays off that high pitch.
And the Yankees have something to play for, too.
Home field. Detroit, they're not backing off either. Yankees won that game. That gives them 96 wins now. That pretty much wraps it up. But Yankees are trying to get their situation sorted out as well.
With their pitching staff and get some of the guys healthy.
Another changeup. Well, Torres got a nice touch with his off-speed pitch.
And not afraid to throw it, it looks like, when he is behind in the count. 2 strikes, 3-2. Pitching backwards a little bit here. There's that 3-finger change once again as he dials it in with 2 strikes. Has Eric Thames out front just a little bit.
Unfair, just getting an idea what Torres is featuring. Torres has 4 strikeouts since he's come into the ball game. Jose Bautista, he's homered and singled here tonight. Torres is starting to feel pretty good.
Yeah. He's stretched out. You mentioned he was a starter in the minor leagues. Only worked a couple of times since he's been called back up.
Young hitter dealing with September at bats. Almost hit Bautista.
I think it got him.
Well, it might have hit him, yeah. Ed Rapuano finally signals that Bautista was hit by that pitch. So he reaches yet again. He's been on base all 3 times tonight.
Hump up a little bit more, and he just can't get that foot up high enough or quick enough as Torres plunks him. Just trying to dance out of the way of that one.
So Bautista's at first, this time with 2 outs. Last time he and Kelly Johnson hooked up on a beautiful hit and run. Johnson pulled the ball to second. Zobrist had broken to cover the bag. Bautista went first to third. .273 average for Johnson since he's joined the Jays. Bounces this one to Zobrist. Easy play. Jays are retired in the 5th. Young Alex Torres has settled things down for Tampa Bay. Season tickets now, and if you purchase your tickets by December 2nd, you can receive a Jays Authentic jersey, a $100 gift card at Jays Shop, and a 1-year subscription to the new Sportsnet magazine. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com. Purchase your tickets for the 2012 season. Henderson Alvarez has got a chance to be a young starter in the rotation next year. Jose Lobaton, the catcher. He's a switch hitter. They acquired Lobaton off waivers. There's a ball down the right field line. Cooper couldn't make a play on it. Lobaton just reached out and punched it to right.
And he knows who's in right field, so he's not going to run himself into an out. Hits off the end of the bat, and Blue Jays really pinch the middle of the diamond. They play percentages. And Lobatone crosses him up as he squeaks one by Cooper down the right field line.
When you set your defense up, you're setting up against a well-hit ball. You're not setting up for bloops or off-balance swings or flares, and sometimes you're going to get burned. Desmond Jennings chases that high fastball.
Percentages, that's what you want to do when you play defense. What are the percentages of where they're going to hit the baseball? Percentages don't say that Lobatone is going to hit a ball off of a left-hander on the first base line.
Yeah, off the end of the bat, just kind of reached out and poked it. Oh, 0-2. Desmond Jennings, the left fielder, lined out to the shortstop his first time up, and he was hit by a pitch back in the third. Was after that curveball. Ricky Romero really got enamored with a cut fastball middle of the season. It was a new toy for him, and he was very good at it. But he kind of got away from his curveball. I think when you can throw a curveball as well as Ricky Romero, you should never forget about it. Just because there aren't that many good curveballs in the American League who can really baffle hitters with it.
It certainly was a big pitch his last time out. I was talking to Bruce Walton, pitching coach of the Blue Jays, after his last start, and they really wanted to concentrate on that curveball and the changeup against the Red Sox, and Ricky got 12 ground ball outs last start against the Red Sox. It's a finishing pitch, I think, for him, for ground ball outs and strikeouts.
And his curveball isn't a roller, it's a biter, and it has a lot of tight spin, and if he's going to miss with it, more often than not, he'll miss in the dirt. And with 2 strikes, that's exactly what kind of image you want to present to a hitter, something that's down low.
When he's throwing that pitch for a strike, where it's close enough to the strike zone where the batters offer at it, those are the type of games where he has the double-digit strikeout game, because it's that good.
Changeup. Desmond swings and misses. Another strikeout for Romero. Make that 4 on the night.
Looked like a changeup, just like Torres did against the Blue Jays in 3-2 counts. Ricky Romero can go to his changeup. The 3-finger change tumbles towards home plate. Jennings a little anxious to hit that one.
Center fielder B.J. Upton was after that first pitch. Boy, Upton's got a lot of timing issues. The foot down, the hands move. I mean, everything's got to be just perfect for him. They've always tried to get him to quiet down things at the plate, but there are a lot of moving parts to his swing.
And that's why he's hitting 241. His talent suggests 300. At speed.
Ground ball. Encarnacion wide of third, goes to second for 1. Johnson. Well, I tell you what, Kelly Johnson just hangs in there, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't worry about that base runner. He stood his ground at second base and still got the throw off to first.
Fearless around that bag. You got to stand in there and just be ready to take the hit from the base runner. You can use the bag as a defender if you could stay behind it, like right there. Force that runner to slide over the base if they're going to come and get you. He's done a good job of that in the short time that we have seen him this year.
B.J. Upton, he's got to be thinking about stealing right here with 2 outs. Got a stolen base back in the first. Longoria goes after the first pitch. Boy, that's a good defense against a stolen base. Strike 1.
Strike 1.
Eliminate the number of pitches that Upton can run on.
And Longoria is such a good RBI man. Even if he does take off and it's a strike, go ahead and swing.
They got him picked up. Upton went on the move by Romero. Now they got him in a rundown, and Romero will tag him out. Boy, good job by Ricky Romero. He held it, and then went to first, and Upton is picked off. That ends the 5th inning. Tampa Bay has a 1-run lead at 3-2. Ricky Romero has settled things down. Anxious with Ricky Romero.
Tried to go on the first move once again, but Romero was waiting for him. Blue Jays will end up getting him. They got thrown out in a tight game last night in the 8th inning and gets picked off here in a 1-run game.
Looks like he might have injured himself. He was slow to get up on the infield after that tag out. Now he looks like he's stretching his legs out in center. Edwin Encarnacion takes a first pitch strike from Alex Torres. Bouncing ball. Zobrist comes in, makes a quick throw to first, and Encarnacion is retired. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful night in St. Petersburg, the middle game of a 3-game series. Blue Jays have lost 13 consecutive series in this ballpark. Kobe Rasmus ripped the double down the right field line his first time up. Then he grounded to second. Shows bunt, takes a strike. We mentioned Alex Torres was claimed off of or in a trade with San Diego. He came from the Padres, and another good-looking pitching prospect.
Can start right now. He's working out of the bullpen for Joe Maddon's team. They do a good job, don't they? They got him from the Los Angeles Angels again for Scott Kazmir. They do a good job of scouting other organizations and finding players that team has been down on. They got their starting shortstop tonight in that trade, and now they got the guy who's kept them in the game. Torres in that trade for Kazmir. This time he climbs a ladder and gets a high fastball by Rasmus. That's 5 strikeouts tonight for Alex Torres.
Well, he's gotten strikeouts with his changeup. He's gotten strikeouts with his breaking ball. And he's gotten strikeouts with his fastball. Tampa Bay, they have to do their shopping at the discount stores. So they really examine other organizations, and they look at good teams and look at teams that might have a depth problem, and then go down and look at their minor league teams and say, okay, they're pretty set at shortstop, they're pretty set starting pitching. Let's see what they've got down in the lower minors and see if we can't find a diamond in the rough. Jake McGee is the left-hander. Brandon Gomes is the right-hander.
You add those players that they acquire through trades with the players that they have drafted and developed, and they've done a good job of drafting and developing.
Homegrown third baseman, Evan Longoria. And yeah, they've had a lot of top picks. For the last couple of years, they've had picks that reflect the fact they've had a lot of success in the big leagues.
Still have to hit on those high picks too. There have been plenty of players come through that were high picks that didn't make it.
Well, and we mentioned Matt Moore, the 22-year-old starter. He was an 8th round pick by Tampa Bay in 2007. This is popped up right out in front of home. Robertone, the catcher, kept his eye on it, makes an easy play. Alex Torres is impressive. Terry is going to have a playoff preview show for you. It'll take place next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that's 6 p.m. Pacific Time, and a host of very talented people will be there to break down the playoffs. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn, Shai Navidi, and our own Pat Tabler will all bring you up to date on the playoffs and give you their predictions, and my partner's going to be front and center there.
They're going to see if I've been paying attention this summer with some of the teams that we've been playing, right?
Should be a great opportunity for fans to check in before the playoffs begin, and the playoffs will start on Friday night. Hard to believe we're just a week away from playoff baseball. Ground ball, McCoy. Why not? Make every play, Mike. Goes in the hole, comes in, around the bag at second. He has really opened some eyes with his glove work at short.
Boy, John Farrell has talked about him now the last couple of nights about Mike McCoy and the future with the ball club. He has shown that he can play the infield. He can also play the outfield. And he's made some starts in center field and in left field. And now in the middle of the diamond, he can steal a base, handle the bat.
Ben Zobrist, he's the difference in this game right now. He homered off Romero in the fourth. His second career home run against the Jays lefty. Another thought on that preview show. Pat Tabler and all the boys will be able to talk about Johnny McDonald and Aaron Hill going to the playoffs for the first time. Congratulations to them.
That's what you play for.
Nothing like it.
When we talked to McDonald after that trade, and Aaron Hill also
hit it to shortstop, and you're out.
You're out. Done. 6-3. Just another 6-3 on the scorecard. That's the one thing that those players talked about was a chance to play meaningful games in September and hopefully into the month of October.
Yeah, I mean, you've been there and I've been there, and it's just a different feeling. Once you get to the postseason, you think that there are just a few teams are alive, had a chance to play the last game of the year. Always a great feeling. The Brewers are in. How about the Phillies? They clinched early, but they lost again this afternoon. They have lost 7 in a row now. Does that have an impact into the postseason?
I don't think so, because they're a veteran team. If it was the first time that they have gotten into the playoffs, maybe. But this is a veteran team. They've been there before. They know how it and what it takes to win in the playoffs. They're in. They're getting themselves ready for Friday.
Johnny Damon with his second hit of the night. This one was a legit hit into center field. He's been on base all 3 times tonight.
First time up, he got a double on a ball that fell in center field. A walk and then a bullet right back through the middle. Just a good hitter. He's got good plate coverage. He can handle all the pitches that Ricky Romero throws up there. And he's smart.
Looking in to see if he can pick up something from the catcher. 2 outs, Sean Rodriguez. Up and away. 6th inning. Tampa Bay leads at 3-2. Johnny Damon with a couple of hits tonight, inching closer to Lou Gehrig in the all-time hits list. Damon now just 2 hits shy of Lou Gehrig. That would tie him for 57th place on the all-time hits list. The active hit leaders: Derek Jeter, Pudge Rodriguez, Omar Vizquel, Rodriguez, and Johnny Damon. Imagine that. Just think about that number of hits. And it doesn't look like he's slowing down.
If they added our hits up, would we have as many as
and multiplied them by 3?
That's a lot of hits. Whew. You know, and it's just year in and year out. You mentioned 140 games played for 16 straight years for Johnny Damon.
Got to jump. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. Not in time. Kelly Johnson kept the tag on Damon in case he came off the bag. But Damon picks up his 19th steal.
Over 400 stolen bases in his career. A hitter, and he can run too. How quickly he gets down there as Damon picks up number 19. He's only been thrown out 4 times all year.
And he picks his spot so well, obviously in a 1-run game. Romero had picked off B.J. Upton last inning, but Damon picked his spot perfectly. Romero, good changeup, strikes out Rodriguez. Good pitch in a tough spot to keep it a 1-run game. Romero can always reach back and throw that changeup and picks up a big strikeout. Visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. Lots of baseball questions and a chance to win beautiful prizes from Sharp. Brandon Gomes, the right-hander, will come into the ball game. He's making his 7th appearance against the Blue Jays this season, and he's pitched very well.
Made his big league debut versus Toronto. That was back on May the 4th. He tossed 2 hitless innings when he came in relief for Wade Davis, and then replaced Wade Davis on the roster July the 7th when Davis was put on the DL. Gomes was recalled. He has had good numbers again this year.
Mentioned Gomes has appeared in 6 games, and Tampa Bay has won 4 of those 6 games. J.P. Arancibia. That's the first pitch strike. Arancibia had a single in his last at bat. He was trying to stretch it into a double, but he was thrown out on a great throw by Desmond Jennings from left. Pops this ball up and back into the seats. Brandon Gomes has worked a total of 6 2/3 innings against the Blue Jays. They have just 4 hits. He hasn't allowed an earned run against them, hasn't allowed a run against them. It's been tough.
Yeah, mixes in the slider, fastball. He's got that little split grip change up that he'll use right there. You see it in his hand as he waits and looks in for the sign.
Might have been that split changeup down and away to Arancibia.
It's got a little bit of a herky-jerky windup that can be tough on batters. You see Arancibia do the 2-step at the plate there. Something off speed. Messed up his timing. First out of the 7th inning.
Arancibia's retired. Adam Lowe in the DH has struck out twice tonight. Both of his strikeouts came against the left-hander, Alex Torres. Well, you talk about just what the doctor ordered. Alex Torres coming into the ball game in the 2nd inning after Jeff Neiman really struggled in the 1st.
His longest relief outing of his career was 1 inning. Torres, and he gave him 5 shutout innings tonight.
What a great job. 5 innings, 3 hits. He walked down and struck out 5. 23-year-old left-hander. Came from the Angels in a deal that included Scott Kazmir. Scott Kazmir went from Tampa Bay to Anaheim.
No beer for you, okay, buddy?
And if the bullpen can save it the rest of the way, first big league win.
Well, Madden's where he wants to be now. He's in the 7th inning. He's got a 1-run lead, and he's got plenty of weapons down in that bullpen. One and 2. Good fastball. Gomes elevated the fastball low and strikes out for a 3rd time.
Off-speed stuff early in the count, and then reaches back and goes upstairs for the 2nd strikeout.
Joe Madden is well aware that the Red Sox lost this afternoon in New York. Tampa Bay now 2 games back. They'll gain an extra half game if they can hang on to this lead. The Yankees play 2 tomorrow, a split doubleheader against the Red Sox. We will have game 2 on Rogers Sportsnet tomorrow night, 6:30. Second game of that doubleheader, Red Sox Yankees.
You know, I know Tampa is not thinking about tying. They're trying to get into the playoffs, but if they would end up tying, they hold all the tiebreakers. The Tampa Bay Rays. Games that would be played here if they ended up tied for the wild card in all the scenarios.
Another good fastball. So Tampa Bay and Boston tie. Playoff game would be played right here. Certainly that's an advantage being able to play at home, although Tampa Bay hasn't played an awful lot better at home than they have on the road.
If all three of them tie, Tampa would get the off day while the other two play, and then the game would be played right here to get into the playoffs. So they hold all the tiebreakers. They just have to get there.
Two balls, two strikes, 2 outs. Brandon Gomes in his first inning of relief. Pulled to Longoria. McCoy is thrown out. The Rays bullpen has been tough, trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. Six strong innings. He's held Tampa Bay to just 5 hits. He finds himself down 3-2, but he's allowed just 1 earned run.
Yeah, deserves better. That first inning gave up a couple of runs. They were unearned. Pushed his pitch count up, but still very good at just 89 heading here into the bottom of the 7th inning.
Casey Kotzman's 0 for 2. And he hit him. It's the second hit batter of the night by Romero, and that's a rough start here in the bottom of the 7th.
Fastball just gets away from him and just clips him right on that elbow to start the 7th. This is where the Rays are tough. Their ability to manufacture those add-on runs late into a ball game.
Bottom part of the order, Rodriguez, Kotzman, and Matt Joyce, including this game, have now gone 3 for 38 against Ricky Romero. This is a part of the lineup he's really got to take care of. It's ahead of Matt Joyce. Matt Joyce hit a bullet right back to the mound. Romero got his glove up, deflected it, and Mike McCoy made a nice play on a bang-bang call at first. Ground ball to second. Johnson quickly to McCoy. Back to first. Nifty double play. 2 down. Vote for Ricky Romero for the Roberto Clemente Award. Major League Baseball is asking you to cast a vote for the Roberto Clemente Award for the player that best represents sportsmanship and community involvement. Ricky Romero is actively involved with Jays Care Foundation and Blue Jays community efforts. He served as the honorary division captain of Rookie League, speaking with several hundred young people from at-risk neighborhoods. Ricky's also made a donation of $100,000 to the Jays Care Foundation. Book for Ricky Romero at BlueJays.com. Romero, not only is he a leader of the ball club, but he's a leader in the community. He gets involved and does an awful lot of great things. Another bouncing ball. Mike McCoy from behind second base. Quick inning for Ricky Romero. We have played 7 complete here in Tampa Bay. It's a 3-2 Rays lead. Sportsnet on Sportsnet 1 starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The Red Sox will play Game 2 of their day-night doubleheader against the New York Yankees. The pitching matchup in that game, John Lackey will go to the mound for the Red Sox. He'll be opposed by Ivan Nova. And Nova is a leading candidate for the American League Rookie of the Year award. Nova's gone 16-4 for the Yankees, who have wrapped up the American Big East Division title.
How many in a row has he won? 13 in a row? Wow. Joel Peralta will now take over back in his customary 8th inning spot with Kyle Farnsworth available here again. Peralta, what a season he has had. 68 games. That is a career high for Peralta. An .094 whip. Left-handers hitting just .152 against Peralta this year.
He moved into that closer's role for a while as Kyle Farnsworth was dealing with some elbow issues. And Tampa Bay didn't miss a beat. Thames, Bautista, Kelly Johnson here in the 8th inning. Ball on the strike. High fly ball into shallow left field. Desmond Jennings is there. 1 out. Jose Bautista has reached base 3 more times here tonight, including a home run in the first, a 2-run shot. He singled in the 3rd and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. He's now reached base 287 times for the season. He is tied with Carlos Delgado at that number. And he is in the 4th spot all time for a number of times reaching base. Paul Molitor is next at 291. Molitor did that in 1993. What a year he's had. And people want to discount his status as an American League MVP, but if you really look at what he does and what he means to this team, he's got to be among the top 3 at least.
Well, there's stats in there also that don't show what type of player he is, the MVP things that he brings. Him talking to other players about playing different positions and moving to third base in the middle of the season, always coaxing the young players, giving them tips here and there. He actually went to John Farrell during a game and said he'd move to center field if he needed it.
During the game in Boston, he was playing right in the 3rd inning. He went to the manager and said, listen, I know you got a lot on your plate, but if you need me to move to center, I'll do it right now. And then earlier in the season, of course, he moved from right field to third base, took over every day at third. Unselfish.
We've had him a couple of times. We've seen him out here early before a game at 3 o'clock at home, taking fly balls, working on certain things. How about the ball off the wall down the right field line? I'm not getting a good turn that I should to get the throw back into the infield. I don't see the ball very well into the gap at right center field. Why don't you hit me a few balls? So he's out here early, and wouldn't you know it, next couple of times, all the outfielders are right behind him.
2-1. Breaking ball on the ground. Sean Rodriguez takes a couple of steps. Bautista is retired for the first time tonight. Yeah, it's kind of tough sitting in the clubhouse if your best player is out on the field practicing.
Make you feel guilty. He's out there. He plays every day, plays every inning of every day, and plays it hard. And again, I don't think I've seen him take one at bat off all season long.
Great focus, great concentration, and he has one thing in mind, and that's leading this team to the postseason and eventually the World Series. Kelly Johnson, he's gone 1 for 3 tonight, hitting in the cleanup spot. Good off-speed pitch. Johnson goes out in front. Ball on the strike.
That's the pitch that he has been tantalizing to the left-handers this year. Lefties hitting just 152 against Peralta, which is the 2nd lowest among major league relievers. Changes up on him a little bit. He's got enough fastball to get it by him.
Peralta pitched in 26 games in 2009 with Colorado. So Kelly Johnson has some at-bats against the right-hander. Pulls it over the head of Tachman into right. Johnson is thinking about 2. Matt Joyce will make him stop. Joyce has got a terrific arm and got to that ball in a hurry.
The whole key to that play from the Tampa Bay side was Matt Joyce hustling over there and catching it before it hit off the wall. Johnson is thinking too as soon as he hits it. High fastball, he pulls it into right field, and he comes out of that batter's box smoking. And watch Joyce as he gets over there, cuts it off 360, and he's accurate right to the cutoff man. He's got to hold him to a single.
2-out single. Kelly Johnson's at first, his 2nd hit of the night. And Canichon goes after the first pitch and pops it back over the screen out of play. Big crowd here on hand at Tropicana Field. There is a post-game concert, but you'd also think some of it has to do with the fact that they're still alive in the postseason. 27,773. Another pop back out of play. Right over our heads.
Edwin's had a couple of nice swings at some pitches that were up. He's a low ball hitter. Got a flat swing. Tough to catch up to those high pitches.
Encarnacion had a walk-off home run Thursday night against the Angels. Came in the 10th inning. He was leading off the 10th. 0-2, 2 outs. Kelly Johnson at first. Way outside. So far, Tampa Bay's bullpen has saved the day. Alex Torres, Brandon Gomes, now Joel Peralta. Peralta, 35 years old now. Way outside. Peralta set. Encarnacion took a tough pitch that split her down out of the zone. That'll give Kelly Johnson a running start at first. 3-2, 2 outs. Casey Kotchman's going to hold him close. This is a very good extra base ballpark. Balls get to the gap in a hurry. Johnson can score from first.
Blue Jays on their scatter report. It's a 3-base park. Think triple. Gaps and down the right field line. You're thinking 3. Lots of speed in the outfield for the Rays. And they have backed up now with 2 outs and a runner on first base.
They're very good at cutting off balls just the way Matt Joyce did on the Kelly Johnson long single. 3-2, 2 outs. The runner is off. Carter strikes out. An off-speed pitch from Peralta. The bullpen has 8 strikeouts tonight for the Rays. Blue Jays trail here in Tampa Bay. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell. St. Petersburg tomorrow afternoon. Pre-game show starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The Jays on Sportsnet 1. Fred Cecil will go to the mound. The left-hander will be opposed by Wade Davis. Davis is 10-10 for the season. Blue Jays will wrap up their season series against the Rays tomorrow. Ricky Romero working to Desmond Jennings, the leadoff batter. Ball on the strike. One and two. Brett Lawrie's on the disabled list. And everybody on the bench is wishing that he wasn't. Can't you get him out on the field? He's driving us crazy in this dugout.
We had a shot at him the other day with all the bubble gum. Well, I did some recon to find out how many pieces of gum he had in his mouth. 46. It ended up with 46 pieces of bubble gum in his mouth just to do it on the bench.
Ground ball. Encarnacion at third. Couple of steps toward the bag, and he throws Jennings out. When you see Brett Lawrie play, you think he might be 31. Plays like a veteran. Then when he's not playing, he reminds you he's 20. Boy, he has been a great addition to this organization, I'll tell you that. And he's played hard. He brings the same kind of intensity as this guy. You need more of those guys.
You know who he reminds me of when he's sitting on that bench not playing? He reminds me of David Price.
Yeah.
And Price's energy when he's not pitching. When Laurie's not playing, he's moving around. He's always talking to people, getting into the game. David Price is the same way.
B.J. Upton fouls it back. Ball on the strike. One out. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tampa Bay holding on to a 1-run lead. Ben Zobrist gave them the lead with a leadoff home run in the 4th. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, Colby Rasmus, David Cooper, J.P. Arancibia, the scheduled hitters for the Blue Jays. Boy, Arancibia's had a rough night. I'm not sure where that ball hit him, but it hit him hard. Got hit on the knee earlier. Right in the rib cage. These modern chest protectors are really molded to your body, but you can see there's a little gap just inside his arm, and he tapped to the spot where it hit. That's probably where that padding is the thinnest. Full count to be B.J. Upton, the center fielder. And he walks. So Upton takes a 1-out walk. That'll get Evan Longoria to the plate. Casey Jansen warming up behind Ricky Romero. You can bet John Farrell is going to do everything he can to keep Romero in this game. At least give him an opportunity for Jay's comeback in the 9th.
Yeah, and win that 16th game of the year, which would set a new career high.
Again, they have Upton picked up. This time to throw to second is not in time. David Cooper was very deliberate with his throw to second base, and Upton beat it. Now John Farrell's going to come out and discuss things with Mark Wegner. Second base umpire looked like he had pretty good position to make the call, but David Cooper was very deliberate throwing that ball to second.
Yeah. Took time. You want to make sure. He made a throw the other night that was a little bit high. This time I think he wanted to make sure he got it inside. And Wegner was in good position. He missed the tag. It was a swipe tag by Johnson. And John Farrell goes out there just to make sure that that was the call.
And B.J. Upton's getting some medical attention to second base. Earlier when he was picked up, he had some sort of issue. And then you can see he's talking to the umpire about hitting something hard before he got to second base.
Looked like he rolled it. right on the bag. Watch him as he aggressively goes into second base. Right there, where the spike hits the bag and he rolls it on top of the bag.
So the trainer came out, checked on Upton. He's okay. He's now in scoring position with one out. That's a big run for Tampa Bay at second.
You don't warm me up, okay? I said I'm cold. You don't want to warm me up. How about that? I'm cold and she doesn't want to warm me up.
Tampa Bay 1 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. It's been a problem for them all season long. They are 13th in the American League. Coming into this game batting .227 with runners in scoring position. The flip side of that, the Texas Rangers hit .283 as a team.
That'll score you a few runs, won't it?
Texas, Boston, Detroit, the top 3 teams hitting with runners in scoring position. Only Seattle has hit worse than the Rays. On the ground, McCoy bobbles it. Upton might have gotten in his field of vision. B.J. Upton took a big couple of steps toward third. McCoy might have been thinking about making a play on Upton.
Yeah, he had a choice. The ball rolls up his arm as he circles around it. Upton, the runner at second base, took 2-3 big steps off a second. If McCoy comes up with that cleaner, he's got a shot at getting Upton at second base, getting him into a rundown. But when it rolls up his arm, Longoria is going to be safe, and Romero deserved better tonight.
John Farrell's coming to the mound. I don't know that he's made a pitching change just yet. This might be a little recon trip. How do you feel, Ricky? Can you get this guy out? Make a good pitch. Zobrist hit a home run off Romero back in the 4th inning.
It's his last start of the season. It's up to 110 pitches. You got to give your ace a chance to get out of it. He can roll a double play ground ball as good as anybody in baseball.
Boy, I tell you what, I love the way John Farrell handles this ball club. He knows who he's dealing with in Ricky Romero. He loves Romero's competitiveness, but he went out there just to clear Ricky's mind and say, okay, give me a game plan. Tell me what you're going to do in this situation, and this game is yours.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Ben Zobrist, he's a tough hitter. Upton at second, Longoria at first. Zobrist pops up the first pitch. Bautista coming in from right, calling for it, and holding his hand up to make sure Colby Erasmus saw it. 2 outs.
Ricky wants to talk to Aaron Sevilla, the catcher, and Aaron Sevilla is looking in. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page now that they're going to face Damon.
Johnny Damon's had good at-bats all night long. He popped the ball up. That fell in for a double, but then he walked in the 4th and hit a rocket into center field in the 6th. He's also picked up a stolen base here tonight. But right now, all that matters is Romero getting Damon out. A couple of runners on here, bottom of the 8th. Breaking ball just missed the inside corner. That fooled Damon.
What a job Romero's done tonight, pitching out of trouble. Not by his doing. 3 errors behind him has cost him.
See the numbers for Damon: 476 against Romero. Ball in the dirt. Sean Rodriguez is on deck. This is Romero's last opportunity to stay in this game. Retired Johnny Damon. Rodriguez, a right-handed hitter. Casey Jansen, a right-handed pitcher, is ready in the pen. Long drive deep right field. Johnny Damon, 3-run homer.
Number 16 of the season for Johnny Damon. RBIs 68, 69, and 70 with one swing of the bat. Romero knows it too. No doubt about it, the right field. Ballpark's not going to hold that one.
Ricky Romero leaves with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Jays are down by 4. Two outs and nobody on.
52 appearances this year. He's given up a run in just 9 of those appearances for the Blue Jays. Just in case they needed him, he was up and he was ready. And now into the ball game. Boy, that hit by Damon is a stinger.
Just exactly what they signed him for. Big hits. Damon's 8th 3-hit game of the season. Also his 3rd 4 RBI game of the season. And Damon is now just 1 hit shy of tying Lou Gehrig on the all-time hits list. Rodriguez robbed by David Cooper off the end of the bat. A little looping liner that ends the inning. But Tampa Bay comes up with 3 big runs in the bottom of the 8th. Johnny Damon, a 3-run shot. Live from anywhere, online or on the go at RogersOnDemand.com.
Johnny Damon's had a great night. This is the capper right here. A 3-run home run off Ricky Romero. A 1-run lead is now a 4-run lead for the Rays. As Damon hits his 16th home run of the season.
Johnny Damon has always been a tough out for Ricky Romero. 3 hits tonight. And he also walked, so Damon is now 12 for 23 against Ricky Romero with 4 career home runs. Kyle Farnsworth, the closer, into the ball game in a non-save situation.
It was a save situation until that home run, so Farnsworth's going to get a chance to come in. He hasn't pitched since September the 10th when he left the game against Boston with some problems with his right elbow. Felt that he was throwing splitters that was aggravating his elbow. Now into the game.
Top of the 9th, Rasmus Cooper and Aaron Sebia scheduled to hit here against Farnsworth. Blue Jays gave Tampa Bay just too many opportunities tonight. Kicked the ball around in the first inning. Had pop-ups fall. And Tampa Bay took advantage.
2 errors in the first inning led to a couple of unearned runs, and then the error in the 8th inning led to 3 runs also.
Ricky Romero will give up 6 runs, but just 1 earned run. Kyle Farnsworth strikes out Colby Rasmus to start tonight. Ricky Romero got off to a pretty good start. Looked like he was going to have a quick inning in the first, but the defense let him down. 7 2/3, 6 hits, just the 1 earned run. Romero's season ERA now at 2.92. Walked 2 and struck out 5. The Rays' hunt for October is still alive. If they win this game, they will climb to within a game and a half of the Red Sox in the wild card race. If Boston loses 2 tomorrow and Tampa Bay wins, they will be dead even. Yeah, believe me, the way Boston's playing right now, that's a possibility.
That's a possibility. Don't you think for a minute the Yankees wouldn't mind doing that to them? Knocking them out. Russell Martin certainly has said that.
Yeah, he said we'd like to knock the Red Sox right out of the postseason.
And the Yankees then will come here to play the Rays the last 3 games of the season.
David Cooper found 0 for 3 tonight. Johnny Damon with a 4 RBI night. Johnny Damon came up with a big hit to create more problems for his former team, the Red Sox.
He's a winner.
Yeah, well, he's always been a winner, hasn't he? Cooper fouls it back. I had the pleasure of managing Johnny Damon in 2006 during the World Baseball Classic. And he was a joy to have on the team. He hurt his arm and couldn't play the second round. But he was there rooting everybody on and just as much of a factor as if he were playing. Cooper off the end of the bat. That ball's got a lot of spin on it. Longoria from foul territory. What a play. That's a tough throw. When you're moving away from the play, the ball's going to sail on you, and he gauged it perfectly.
It takes a special type of athlete to be able to make that type of play. Stay with the ball. Cues it off the end of the bat, and it's got a lot of English on it. Longoria stays with it. Way in foul territory. Look where he unloads this ball from. Almost the coach's box. And right on target to record the out. Kyle Farnworth certainly likes that.
Blue Jays down to their final out. J.P. Arencibia next one down. J.P.'s got 1 for 3 tonight. Joe Madden said all we can do is try to win games. Wow, that got the umpire. Then Gapuano went to his knees. Looks like that ball might have hit him underneath the chest protector, and he's going to get some attention from the Rays training staff.
Knocks the wind out of you, I imagine. Ball bounces, and then you're right in the breadbasket.
And just underneath that chest protector, the umpires, you can see the assistant trainer checking with Rapuano. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looked like Rapuano wanted to shoot that right arm into the air.
No flinching. Surprised everybody at the plate. That fastball got up there.
Full count. Ball game. Farnsworth strikes out Arencibia to end it. Tampa Bay's bullpen allowed the offense to come back in this game. What a job by Torres, Gomes, Peralta, and Farnsworth.
8 shutout innings by the bullpen for the Rays, giving them a chance to come back when Johnny Damon delivers the big blow.
The Red Sox are now just a game and a half ahead of Tampa Bay. The Angels will play later on tonight. We'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon. Big game for the Rays. Stay tuned. Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn will break it all down.